vamos a hacer el ejercicio de...
Hola, somos
Me sobran 12K, que no sé lo que valdrá. Por ahí anda. Y me voy a comprar un motor Panthera de 602 tiempos, ¿vale? Vamos a ver, vamos a imaginar lo que he dicho, que nos compramos un motor en Canadá, Panthera. ¿Por qué? Porque somos así de chulos, ¿vale? Somos así de chulos, nos sobra el dinero y queremos gastarnos la pasta. Yo recibí una caja de estas. Sí, yo lo he visto, Dani. Lo que pasa es que digo, vídeo de Red Bull y de Monster es ponerlo y... Se ve que sueltan bien la pasta. Y ahí no permite nada. A ver qué dice.
Day here in the 999 Laser Studio, maybe even the biggest day in the history of this.
Fijaros nada más cómo se nota donde hay pasta. Dice, es un día muy importante aquí en el 999 Studio. Yo os podría decir, bienvenido a mi trastero. Esto es la esquina de mi trastero. Ustedes veis esto, pero es mi trastero. Si vierais aquello, veríais las bicicletas, las cosas de los trasteros. Aquí ya, aquí hay niveles. Aquí hay niveles. Y yo no estoy en el mejor precisamente.
We are about to embark on a mission to build the world's most powerful single-cylinder two-stroke motocross bike, and we've been given the opportunity to be the first people in the world to do this build. And it all starts with this box right here that, as you can see, has come all the way from Canada. Okay, so I think I've teased you guys enough. What's inside this box? Let's open it up and find out. You guys know that we love our two-strokes and we love our big bore bikes. In our arsenal, we've got a 125, we've got a 250, we had the Suzuki 400cc two-stroke that you saw last year, we've got the 500s of course, and we've even got the 700cc Megalodon. But it feels like there's something missing in the lineup. This is the Panthera PM09, a 600cc single-cylinder, fuel-injected, fire-breathing two-stroke monster.
600 inyección, doble inyección.
This motor is a work of art. It features a counterbalance shaft to reduce vibrations by 70%. It has a 12-fibre clutch, a triple-blade servo power valve, a primary injector in the base, and a
embrague de 12 fibras. Se referirá a 12 discos, no entiendo, ¿no? Entiendo, ¿no?
And the e-start is actually integrated into the cases. The PM09 took 3 years of hard work from Panthera to design and develop. Pretty much every part of this motor is made in-house. Panthera actually created their own foundry and machine department for this project. Their goal has always been to bring the quality and precision of the car racing world, where the owner Sebastian cut his teeth, to the MX and ATV world. You might have specific targets for the motor. It had to fit a modern motocross chassis, be a torque monster, offer great power at low cost, use pump gas, and have fuel injection to accommodate for any situation. And this is what they created. So what's in the crate when you order a PM09? Well, obviously you get the motor itself, this beautiful, monstrous, scary looking thing here. You actually get an installation manual for the specific chassis that you're going to be using for your build. So this is specific to the chassis that we've got. Custom silencer, look how beautiful that is. We've got the front pipe. Look at the size of that monster.
What the fuck?
It's an absolute work of art. That's just bonkers. And then in these bags here, in this bag we've got the engine mounting brackets, or the mounting kit specific for our chassis. We'll go into more detail on that later when we're back in the workshop. We've got the exhaust springs there in this bag. And in the final bag, the final piece to the puzzle, we've got all of the electrics, the wiring loom and everything in there. So that's what comes in the crate. Let's head to the workshop. Let's get started on what my side.
Anuncio.
¿Quieres comprar una vivienda pero tu banco solo te financia el 80% del valor de compra?
inside our donor chassis. Hopefully it'll be a straightforward process. To help me with this build, I required the brains and the...
Pero yo creía que tú lo compras igual que el VRC, por ejemplo. Tú compras el VRC para Yamaha y Z y no tienes que cortar el chasis. No tienes que... Aquí vemos que no, que hay que soldarle las nuevas cogidas, ¿no?
He's not seen the motor or the pipes yet, so we're going to reveal it to him now.
Se va a quedar loco cuando lo vea. Es del escape, vale, el silencioso, mejor dicho. Ok, ready.
It's good, isn't it?
Custom job that.
Yeah. Very nice.
Close your eyes.
Muy bonito.
I'll close my eyes. I don't trust this. What are you going to give me?
Open your eyes. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Hostia puta.
Yeah, that's blimey.
And underneath
Come on,
here
then.
is the PM09 from Panthera. Look at that.
Yeah. That's going to look meaty in that bike, isn't it? Let's get on. Let's get on with it then.
The first job of the day was to
So
strip
ready?
down
Adelante.
the donor bike to its bare bones.
Es unos Varnas, ¿no? Si no me equivoco, ¿no?
This is a 2019 KTM
KTM
250
KTM 2.5
It's a rolling
2019.
chassis that we've had laying around the 999 laser garages for about 18 months now, just waiting for a project like this. It does require some minor modifications to the bottom engine brackets.
Requiere algunas modificaciones menores. Cortar las cogidas y soldarle nuevas. Vale, ok.
Panthera actually do fit kits for a lot of bikes, a lot of brands that don't require modifications.
Hombre, no estaba cortando el chasis como tal, eran las cogidas.
Description down below, but basically you can fit this motor into a lot of different rolling chassis. So that's a really nice thing about this motor and about this build. You can be quite versatile with how you do it. For all the details of all the specifics, check out the Panthera website.
$9.800. ¿Lo habéis visto, no? ¿Lo habéis visto, no? Dependiendo ya lo que con las opciones, pero vamos, el full, 9.000, y este seguro que ha cogido el full, $10.000. Lo que pasa es que es verdad que son dólares canadienses. No sé cómo estará el cambio.
Details of all the specifics, check out the Panthera website on the chassis that you can use for this build.
With this chassis, to mount the Panthera into here, we've got to remove the old bottom engine mounts, and Panthera have like kindly machined us some new ones to put in situ. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a complete dry build. So we're going to build it up, put the engine in, get everything where it needs to be, mount these so they're in the right place, then just tack weld them on, and then strip everything out and then get them welded up. So the mount, as you can see, is going to be minimal disruption to the frame. They're just set back slightly, so once they're in place, like I say, we'll just weld them in once they're in situ, just tack them in, engine out, and then get them fully welded. So yeah, minimal disruption to the frame, which is, I would say, DIY thing that you could do at home if you're quite capable of welding or anything like that, but any fabrication shop will be able to do that for you.
Dice, pero bueno, es algo fácil que si sabes soldar podría hacerlo tú. Hombre, si sueldas bien y tienes los apaños, yo por ejemplo sé soldar pero muy poquito, pero yo no lo haría. Yo no me atrevería a hacerlo.
We are going to make this build look pretty. It's going to look the nuts when we're done, but today's just a dry build. We're just going to make sure everything fits. Once the dry build's done, we'll take everything out and then we'll start the beautification process to make this build look absolutely stunning when we're all finished with it. So don't worry about how filthy everything looks right now. That is going to be sorted.
Afuera.
Okay, so as you've just seen, Sean's taken off the bottom engine brackets. That means we're ready to get the PM09 in there. We're going to take it off of the blocks that it came shipped on and try and get it fitted into the frame for the first time. So it's a two-man job. We're both going to work on this one. As this build had never been done before and this motor had never been inside this frame, we were a little nervous to see how much
Pero para
space
ser un
we had
600, el
available,
motor en sí
but we were pleasantly
no es
surprised.
tan exageradamente bestia. Es grande, pero que fíjate el cilindro. Pero no es... Entra en un chasis de 2,5 sin modificar la cuna.
Slipped the motor in, and it went in relatively easy, to be fair. Looking at the size of it and the space we had, it was like...
Pero veis, entró con
it's gonna be
relativa
tight, but
facilidad.
It did go in quite easy. I was quite surprised.
Pensé que iba a ir mucho
basically
más
just
apretado.
Popped in the front engine mount, which lines up correctly with the spacers. So now what we're going to do is pop in the swing arm, get the motor centralised, put on the top mounts so it's all centralised so we know exactly where it is, and then we'll start working on the bottom brackets for the frame, and we, you know, like, because they need relocating, getting them sorted out, getting them tacked in, and then getting the engine out.
Hombre, también si no tienes las tirantas de abajo, también entra
Before we
más fácil.
committed to anything, Sean and I had a good look here to make sure that we were fitting these new mounts in the right place.
Put the engine in, all the engine bolts are located, mounts are located, which then gave us where we need to be on the new mounts for the bottom bracket for the engine. So now that's tacked in place. So what we're going to do now is undo everything and then pull it out, fully weld that, and then it's going to go back in again. So yeah, in, out, in, out, in, out.
Shake it all about.
Yes, they do. Shake it all about, yeah.
Vale, fuera. Soldarlo todo bien. Y el chasis, antes en el otro vídeo hemos visto que estaba como decapado, de esto que le hace que le resaltan las soldaduras para que se vean más bonitas, ¿no? Bueno, bonita. A mí no me gusta mucho el resultado ese, pero bueno.
Dress all the metal, clean it up, and then give it a weld from the bottom. So yeah, as good as it comes out of the factory.
You sure about that?
Oh, 100%.
A soldar. Le voy a echar unos puntitos solamente. Soldar y repasar.
We've fully welded the brackets.
Ya no es
onto the
saber
bottom
soldar,
frame,
porque si tienes
in
los
the new
apaños, si tienes
location, the new
con un
brackets
poco
that
de
they've
práctica,
supplied,
pero claro,
dress the welds
yo
up,
tengo una máquina
reload
de
down to
electrodo
slip the
de
motor back
hace
in
ya
and
20
start
años.
bolting it all back together.
Eso no... Para 4 chapucillas vale, pero
Ready as you'll ever be.
no es lo mismo una máquina esta de hilo. Ahí todo potente. Ya no cabe tan bien. No, pero cabe.
Yeah. Your way, towards you, towards you.
Yo dejarme ya.
I need to get a bit of grip. That's what she said. Yep.
There, haven't we?
Ese motor está más apretado que la tuerca de un submarino.
That was easier than expected.
Es un 600, nano. 600.
Yes!
She's in.
So we stumbled up, across just a little issue, nothing major. Obviously, this is the first time this has been done, but as we had the swing arm in before, with everything bolted up, before we'd done the bottom engine mounts, we just noticed that this is just
Eso no es
kissing the
nada.
casing slightly. I mean, it's not an issue at all. I'm just going to dress this up, just take that little bit of material off there, just to give it that little bit of clearance, and it'll be perfect.
Eso no es nada.
Huge front pipe goes on. As you've seen, it's an absolute monster. So
El escape, tío,
what
el
we've
escape.
decided to do, Sean will
Locura
explain,
total.
is we're going to get the subframe on, right?
Yeah.
So we've got the tailpipe on and we can try and line it up with that.
Yeah,
That's the plan.
yeah, that is the best idea. Yeah, get subframe on, and then go from there, see where the tailpipe's at, and then see if we can somehow like
Get that monster.
yeah, get it on, manipulate it. Might be a few alterations with it, but we're
Yeah.
going to try and see if it fits. I mean, it's never been fitted in this frame before. There's no brackets on it, so we've got to weld some of them on, and
Yeah.
so it's a bit of a.
Hay que
bespoke
meterlo,
build.
ver por dónde va el que vaya por donde tiene que ir y soldarle, hacerle cogida
So what have you just put on
y
front?
soldarlo.
Yeah, so throttle body's on. We're going to get that mounted back on, and then see if we can connect up the airbox.
Hola, soy Luis Zaera y mi tierra
Hola, ¿qué
Galicia
tal?
está en
Buenas
peligro.
tardes.
La multinacional Altir está tratando de poner en marcha una enorme fábrica.
Considering Panthera have never fitted this motor inside this chassis, it's actually incredible how well this pipe fits. But still, it took
Encaja
us a
bastante
bit
bien,
of time
de
and a bit
primeras.
of trial and error to get it to fit perfectly.
Alright, Big Sean, talk us through our latest discovery and what we need to do.
So, as was discovered, and we knew this anyway, that the exhaust wouldn't fit. Well, there's some manipulation to be done with the exhaust.
Which he warned us about, that
Yeah, yeah, he
probably
did, yeah.
would.
Yeah,
He
I
said
mean,
it was
it's-
close, but you might,
Yeah,
for this specific model.
exactly. Yeah, I mean they've never built this in this bike, in this chassis, so every problem we're coming across is new. So what we're going to do is remove this bracket here on the frame. I'm going to get rid of that, just to allow us to get the exhaust maybe in a position where
Because we've just tried to line it up. haven't
yeah,
we?
it's just a no-go because it's massive. Like,
Básicamente está diciendo que claro que es que ese motor no lo han hecho nunca para ese chasis, así que se están encontrando con 20.000 problemas que claro que son totalmente nuevos, que ni el de Pantera sabía que porque no está hecho para eso.
Hopefully.
we've got one way to find out. We're going to cut it off.
So we're going to lock it off and then relocate it.
Yeah, relocate. Yeah. Once we got the pipe into a reasonable position. So let's see what we can do.
And we're doing this completely unsupervised. Phil's gone.
Yeah, Phil's gone, so it's just me and Max and the grinder. We just left.
Right move.
Y además que es que tiene que tener, es que son 600 centímetros cúbicos.
Safe to say,
Tiene que tener esa pedazo de bufanda. La salida de gas, que vaya todo como debe. No es tan fácil, ¿eh? Mira, tío, qué locura.
Yeah, it does.
That's what that looks like.
Qué
So that's
locura.
the exhaust bracket that we've cut off. It was in completely the wrong place for this pipe. As you can see, this pipe's about 4 times as big as a stock pipe. Well, I bet it's bigger than 4
Yeah,
times.
probably.
Es como 4 veces más grande que la original.
And it was banging away, so now we're going to relocate this in a different part of the frame, possibly up here, and then get a hanger off the exhaust, so that'll be one mount, and then possibly mount off the back here, off this somehow. But we've got a few more bits to jigger about first before we start doing that, but it's a long old process, but we're getting there.
How long have we been in the workshop now? Today?
It's 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8
8 horas de
hours.
trabajo llevan
And
hasta
I
ahora.
think we've made good progress today, really good. So yeah, bring on the next 8 hours. Can't wait.
Do you want to say that with a bit more like passion and enthusiasm?
Oh, okay. Let's bring on
A
the
ver,
next
pero vas a
8
soltar el
hours, 'cause
escape.
I cannot
esto ya es
wait
todo promo.
because it's awesome. Is that better for you?
Ya es todo promo.
Yeah.
Bueno, seguiremos viéndolo en otro momento, gente. Yo me tengo que ir porque voy a terminar de preparar las cositas, que lo que me falta es la comida del viaje y poquito más. Y no sé si podré hacer directo desde Priego, ¿vale? Voy a grabar lo que pueda. Pero bueno, os iré contando, ¿vale? Os iré contando. Hoy ya os he dicho, streaming rapidito, tío, no tenía mucho más tiempo. Gracias por haber estado ahí y os voy contando, os voy mandando fotitos y eso por el grupo, ¿vale? Buenas noches a todos y buen finde.